Hi, I'm Erica from AccuQuilt, and I am here to show you our Music Medley die. Now this is a die we came out with because it was one of our most requested shapes. These musical shapes you see before you on our new die and also on our runner in front of us. So I want to show you how to do the embroidery, and we're just going to do one of the notes now as an example. Now the link to this downloadable embroidery is going to be found inside the packaging, or you can also go to your local dealer as well for help with that. So we're going to get started. I've got a plain piece of fabric hooped here. I want you to really be able to see the embroidery as we go. Now the embroidery is going to come with 3 different stitches, and for our purposes today we're going to use the blanket stitch, but there's also a satin stitch and a motif stitch available. So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and get this started stitching out our placement stitch. Now I have already cut out my shape, and this is the shape that we're going to be working with, and this shape was fused, the fabric was fused first. We cut it out on our die, so all I have to do is pull off that fusible paper backing, and I'm going to be ready to place that on here as soon as my machine is done. And that placement stitch is going to give us the exact placement for this so we get a perfect product. Now you probably would want to use some black thread on this. We are using a hot pink so that you can really see it, but I think it's going to be really cute with the pink thread. As soon as this is done, we can show you how that works. And again, once we get this back here, we're going to go ahead and use the blanket stitch for today's example. Okay, so look how adorable this is. I'm so excited. I think along with a lot of you, this is going to be a great shape. It's going to lend itself to a lot of projects. We just want to make sure we're lined up perfectly. We've got the fusible on there so that we can come back in with our iron, tack this down, get those edges nice and secure so we get a perfect finished product. Just want to make sure we're right on target with that. Sometimes I'll use a thread that matches my background for this so that I know for sure it's going to go, but most of the time I'll just use the same thread that I'm going to be stitching on top of it with. Okay, so we're going to put this back in. This is going to be done for us in no time. This is going to be so fun for projects for you. And we're all done. We've got our shape stitched out in no time. That perfect, adorable little blanket stitch. I love how it looks, and I actually really like the contrast of the pink thread on top of it too. Now remember, the link to the downloadable embroidery will be inside the packaging, and there is embroidery for each of the shapes on the die, and each of them will have all 3 of the stitches. So remember, that's a satin stitch, this cute blanket stitch, and also a motif stitch. Now the pattern for our treble runner here is also going to be inside the package. You can also find it at AccuQuilt.com. So we look forward to seeing all the projects you're going to come up with to make with this frequently requested Music Medley die, and look forward to seeing you post those and share them with us at AccuQuilt.com. Remember, you can follow us and get even more inspiration and also share projects on Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, and Twitter. At AccuQuilt, we help you cut time so you can quilt more.